Hello and welcome to the Ganru Show. I'm Golda.
And I'm Wanru.
And this is a podcast that's just like hanging out and celebrating with your two best girlfriends.
It's like busting out your stretchy pants for eating day.
It's like running through a pile of freshly raked autumn leaves.
It's like knowing you'll have no less than 3 pies for dessert.
It's my dream. In today's episode, we'll be talking about traditions.
And you'll find out how Golda is getting closer to her goal of looking like J-Lo.
Yes, ever so close. And you'll find out where Wanru will be on Black Friday.
Or not be. We'll see. I don't know.
So,
let's get started.
It's that time when we catch up with each other and find out what we have been up to in a segment we call Girl, What You Been Up To? So girl, Wanru, what you been up to? It has been forever. Catch us up. What is happening in your life?
So for those of you who listened to our autumn episode, you might remember that I mentioned a pyramid in Mexico called Chichen Itza.
Yes, and Chichen Itza.
And do you remember what you said about Chichen Itza?
That it sounds like cheese?
No, that it sounded like it would be your aunt's name.
Oh, yeah, Tita Chichen Itza.
Well, I had just brought it up because of the fact that the autumn equinox is coming up and there's like very cool sort of seasonal shadows that follow over the pyramid, and the pyramid is like all like lined up with all these sort of like earth and moon patterns.
Mm-hmm.
And then I didn't realize this, but I was actually heading to Chichen Itza.
No kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Because about a week and a half ago, me and my girlfriends took like a fun trip to Tulum. And Tulum is an hour and a half away from Chichen Itza.
So when you're looking at Mexico, where in Mexico is it?
Great question. Great question. It is in the eastern southern area in the Yucatan Peninsula.
Ooh.
So Tulum is about an hour and a half south of Cancun, Mexico. It's a famous, vacation destination. And then Chichen Itza is an hour and a half from Tulum. So we did a tour, we got on the bus, we went over there, and I saw it with my own eyes.
And what was that experience like for you to see it with your own eyes?
I mean, it was pretty amazing. You round the corner, and then there it is, the pyramid of, just in front of you. And I'm just like, a girl from LA. I've seen like a bunch of stuff. But could you imagine if you're a Mayan around the 900 AD time frame?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're like working in the jungle, and then you're like, oh, I got to go into town. I mean, Chichen Itza was actually the town, and the famous pyramid there is called Kukulkan. And so could you imagine rounding the corner and you're like, all right, I gotta go into town, sell some, bananas or whatever.
Corn,
more likely.
Maize.
More likely. Yes, exactly. Boom. Soaring above you is Kukulkan. And it looked majestic. It looked awesome. It was inspiring even in the modern day.
Have you been to the Egyptian pyramids?
No, I have not. This is the very first
Neither
pyramid.
have I. Oh. I'm wondering, if for those of you who have been to both, I wonder what the difference is.
Yeah, interesting, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I was awed, but I wonder if it's because I've never seen a pyramid before. It was just very cool.
Wonderful. Are you able to go inside the pyramid? Is there a little door or a sliding glass somewhere?
So back in the day, they let us commoners just like walk all over the place and just like, ruin it.
So what were the pyramids for? Was it just a place to hang out, or is this like what did the Mayans use it for?
A great question. It is a living calendar. It's like a living marking of the seasons and the calendar. So the tour guide mapped out this thing for us. And there's like so much math. He's like, if you multiply the levels by the number of diagrams on it, it's 52 because it's 52 weeks in a year. And everyone knows the Mayans went by the solar calendar. And during the autumnal equinox, it would form a 45 degree. Like he was doing like calculus,
Wow.
Did
you totally zone out like after 10 seconds?
I could not keep up. He's like drawing all these like diagrams on the sand. And we're like, I can't keep up with Mayan architecture. He called it astroarchaeology, using astronomy to figure out why they picked that site and why they formed it, why they designed it the way they did.
Wow.
So basically there's so many features of it which they use as a Mayan calendar. And of course the most famous thing is during the autumnal equinox in September, when the length of hours in the day and the night are exactly the same, a shadow falls over Kukulkan, and there's like a panther or snake head at the base of the pyramid, and the shadow falls over it, and then you can see his serpent back, like along the edge of the pyramid.
Wow.
Yeah. So I wasn't there during the autumnal equinox, unfortunately. But another cool little fact is that there are a lot of naturally occurring sinkholes called cenotes. And there are 3 cenotes in that. There were 2 cenotes known in that area. And then recently, through some sort of technology, they figured out there's a 3rd cenote under Kukulkan. Okay, so you're thinking, why? Why did they pick this place? What's so special? Why did they build this pyramid on top of this sinkhole, right?
Yeah, why did they do that?
Because those 3 sinkholes line up with the 3 stars in Orion, the constellation, overhead. So at a certain time of the year, when the Orion's constellation passes overhead, there's 3 stars in Orion's belt in the constellation of Orion. And those 3 stars line up with those sinkholes.
Wow.
So they're like, you know what? This is a very sacred place. They built the pyramid on top of the central sinkhole. And then the other sinkhole, it's called the sacred cenote. That's where all the sacrifices happen.
Oh, so not all good times were had.
They were really, really smart, but watch out. You could also be pushed in the cenote. No, but I went to the sacred cenote, and I looked inside, and I thought about all the...
Was it creepy?
It was creepy.
Oh, can you feel like the kind of leftover energy?
You certainly could.
Really interesting.
Yeah, you could feel like it was not a usual place. Either you would feel it's magical, or maybe because we knew there were human sacrifices, there was definitely an air of like, ooh, this is a little creepy.
You know, what's funny is when I went to London for the first time, we went to go visit the Tower of London, which is a castle in London where there were a lot of executions. People were imprisoned. I think the famous prisoner was Anne Boleyn, was in prison there for a number of days before she was executed, and you can feel the juju when you have you been there?
Ooh, yes, I have. Yes,
yeah. It's. I remember the first time I went there. It's pretty palpable for me at least when I was there. So I can only imagine going to an ancient space. I mean, that's got to be something else.
Yeah. So props to the Mayans.
Yeah.
I mean, they were astronomers.
They built an edifice to track what we now take for granted as a calendar that we get at Paper Source or TJ Maxx on sale in the clearance aisle.
You could pretty much figure out in 2 seconds when the autumnal equinox is. You know, those guys had to wait by the pyramid and watch those shadows every day until it happened. They're like, oh, now it's the autumnal equinox, right?
And the upgrade to the design was the snake formation.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, mad props to these crazy mathematician, astronomer Mayans. I have mad respect for them. And you know what? If they gotta sacrifice a few, souls for part of their tradition.
Oh no!
Speaking of tradition, part of their tradition, then let it be. Anyway, so that's what I've been up to. Girl, what have you been up to?
That's amazing. What I really admire about you, Wanru, is when you pick places to visit, you really pick places to visit.
I do? I didn't know I
You've
was
got
going
some
there.
Cool places that you visit.
I just was like a $40 bus tour. I'm like, all right, I'll go see some pyramids.
But
I didn't know it was the pyramid.
When you think about the, regular people and where they normally go on vacation, what is it, like Disneyland?
Oh, yeah.
Disney World, you're above and beyond. You actually have meaning behind, there's learning. There's historical references.
There's math. There's geometry
involved. To use your brain. Gosh.
Nerds
really
on
good.
tour.
Yeah. Hey, that's an idea for your side hustle.
Nerds on tour. Golda, thank you so much for those compliments.
Yeah, of course.
I would love to hear, girl, what have you been up to?
Girl, I am not nearly as exciting as you, girl. I mean, mine is definitely a realization. And the realization is that once you reach a certain bracket of age,
which for Golda is 32.
Exactly. Once you reach 32-ish, something very interesting happens to your body.
What is that?
It does not cooperate with you as much as you would have liked it to continue from the days when you were young and agile and nimble.
Mm-hmm.
So, a quick story with me. I actually, this happened just the other day, as a matter of fact. I was in bed as you're wont to do every evening, and I was getting comfortable, and I turned over to my right to give my honey a kissums. And as
So it wasn't like aggressive, like, hey, honey, come here. It's just like, I'm just gonna gently turn.
That's on Tuesdays. It was a Thursday. Yeah, it was a Thursday, Wednesday. So none of that. So just ever so slightly moving to my right, and I feel a
what? Can I hear that sound again?
And basically, I completely sprained my back muscles or something, and I couldn't get out of bed. Like, literally minutes after I turned, I was like in bed, bedridden.
Well, I guess if you have to be bedridden, just start in bed is a good place to be.
Yeah, versus, I don't know, chair-ridden.
On the street, and then you got to get to your bed to be bedridden.
Car-ridden. That's not fun.
Line at Trader Joe's ridden.
Yeah. No, that's kind of humiliating. At least I was in the privacy of my own home.
Right,
and
right.
that was something else, let me tell you. So long story short, I think I came to the realization that as you get older, it is the most unglamorous things where you throw out your back or get some sort of weird injury. I mean, I was literally just lying in bed.
Just doing regular stuff.
I was like, just give a little, I was really surprised that I am old.
So you couldn't get out of bed for how long? Like, how long did you have to sit there?
Girl, so basically, I would say until the next morning. I had to take like some Advil and some other great things. But the next day I felt much better. But that being said, it was like that. It was just just so instant that I couldn't. But anyway, it does make you appreciate when you do start feeling better that you want to do a bunch of stuff. So
yeah, exactly.
So the lesson here is you never know when you will throw your back out or become completely incapacitated. So enjoy, being able to get up from a chair.
So
sounds simple, but it's a very, very big gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gift of health. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So Golda and I are at the age, for Golda, it's 32.
Yeah. And for Wanru, it's 28.
No, I'm in my 40s. I'm willing to admit that.
I am not willing to admit it. Give me some time. I'm still growing.
So I'm at that age where a lot of my friends are starting to say that their body has rebelled against them.
Oh, like what do they say?
What's the word? Not rebelled, but they've kind of like
fighting them.
Yeah, like sneakily failing them. And so I'm gonna list some of the ways I've heard my friends have put out their back.
Okay.
And it's nothing like extreme. It's not like windsurfing,
Yeah, or like fighting crime. It's like that's what you would imagine, how people injure themselves.
Yeah. You're like, I was doing Navy SEAL training and I like put a like burlap bag, 80-pound bag.
Or I was saving children, an orphanage from a fire.
Yeah, those would be legit ways.
Good way to do that, to throw out your back.
Right.
But what were some of the reasons you heard?
I have heard sneezing.
Oh.
Coughing.
Ah.
Picking up a laundry basket, wait for it, an empty one.
What? Wow.
Sleeping.
Oh.
Waking up.
Oh my goodness.
All of these things have caused my friends to put out their back. And I'm talking about for like several days. It's just human nature, yeah.
Well, the first time I threw out my back, and I've only thrown out my back a handful at the most amount of times. But the first time was at a movie theater here in Pasadena called the ArcLight. Pasadena, and I was watching a movie called Moneyball, with Brad Pitt. And basically what happened was that I was picking up the extra large tub of popcorn that was on the floor to pick it up as the movie was ending so I could throw it away. And I heard a...
Can you hear that again? It's a different one than the first one. What was the first one? Okay.
Anyway.
Clearly two distinctive back issues. Okay,
yes. And then all of a sudden I couldn't move. It was really scary. It was really very random. But
oh, no.
Yeah. Anyway.
Are you sure it wasn't Brad Pitt's awful performance that caused your back to spasm?
I think that was part of it, now that I think about it. Yeah. Yep.
Anyways, so take care of yourself so that you can go to cool places like Chichen Itza.
And what was the name of the city?
The city.
Kukulkan.
The pyramids. Kukulkan.
Kukulkan.
Yeah. And girl, that's what we've been up to. I can't believe it, but it's almost time for Thanksgiving.
Yay, I love it.
Golda just loves anything that indicates Christmas is ever closer.
Yes, I do. Once we get to the later part of the year, I am just on pins and needles. I love it. I love this time of year.
She is going to vomit Christmas.
I am. I already have. Just a little bit, though.
It's coming up. Oh, we will warn you right now that her Christmas enthusiasm will continue to grow. But today's topic is about the traditions surrounding Thanksgiving.
Now, Wanru, why do you think that traditions are so important in life? Why is it important to create traditions or to celebrate traditions?
I'm the worst person to ask because my family, which is when I was growing up, a small family of 4, just my mom and dad and me and my brother, we didn't really have many traditions. Most of my family's in Taiwan. So I'm always fascinated by people who have big families and big family celebrations and who have all these traditions. I'm like, what's that? What's that? I mean, we have a few, but very, very few, and I'd be happy to share. What about you? What are your thoughts around traditions?
Oh gosh, I feel like it's a lot of fun to celebrate old traditions that maybe you've created with your family or your friends or your coworkers. I mean, don't think of traditions purely as just with your family, although that's wonderful. You can also have traditions with your best friend, with, like I mentioned, your coworkers, with, your significant other, whomever, or even if you volunteer someplace, maybe people that you volunteer with, or, book club, whatever. I feel like the importance of traditions is it's a way to celebrate the past, the present, and the future.
Oh, wow. I never thought of it that way. I mean, duh, that's what a tradition is. But wow, can you say that again?
Yeah, it's a way to celebrate. And let me add something else that I forgot.
What? Okay.
It's a way to celebrate and feel connected to people and connected to your past, your present, and your future.
Oh my God, that's so deep. That's so deep, Golda.
That's because I'm really deep, man. Hey.
It's almost as deep as that sacred cenote where they were like pushing people into.
Oh, I was thinking the Bee Gees. How deep is your love? Is your love how deep? Anyway,
yours is much, much more nicer.
Yeah. So to start off with Thanksgiving being the most recent one that is coming up, and then of course after that, our various holidays in December, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Christmas, right? New Year's.
Yep.
So for Thanksgiving, I wanted to talk about maybe some traditions in Thanksgiving that we all probably partake in. I think it started on the Mayflower, did it not?
I assume so. I think everyone knows kind of like the traditional story
yes,
of the Pilgrims and the Native Americans, the first people.
Yes.
I'd be curious to know, what traditions did the Inquitos follow around Thanksgiving?
Okay.
And I'll tell you mine.
So family traditions, like with the parentals and my sister, we would probably go to our local supermarket. In this case, in Los Angeles, being Vons. Sorry, Ralph's, but my mom worked at Vons at the time. So she would get a gift certificate for the holidays from Vons, her employer. It was usually, a modest amount, maybe $20, something like that. And she would buy a frozen Vons brand turkey.
It has to be a Vons brand.
It has to be a Vons brand. Now, this is back in the day in the 70s where, there was no such thing as hormone free, free range, no chemicals. It was just the Vons brand turkey, frozen. And usually they were piled like in a cage. The frozen turkeys would be piled in a freezer cage.
I thought that you were talking about live turkeys. They were probably piled in a cage too. You're talking about the frozen turkey.
The frozen turkey. And my mom would have to defrost it for like, I don't know, 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, it takes a while.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And then, and it was really very, very basic. It was, just the regular seasonings. But here is the bit that we always looked forward to is as much as we looked forward to the turkey and the mashed potatoes, we weren't really big on cranberries. Like that wasn't a really big deal. But where we really got excited was the dessert.
Yep.
And the dessert was the dessert my mom would only make in Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's. So you would have it 3 times at the tail end of the year. And it was a yellow box cake. Okay. So you like a Duncan Hines.
Okay.
And it's not even a flavor because on the box it just says yellow mix.
Okay.
No flavor. It's just yellow.
Okay.
So we would get 2 boxes of the Duncan Hines, right? And then we would get cream cheese.
Oh.
Philadelphia cream cheese.
Okay.
We would get some chunks of pineapple.
Oh, okay. I see. I follow you.
You
I
see
follow
where I'm going?
Where you're going with this. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So my mom would make a 2-layer pineapple cheesecake.
Oh, wait.
It was the ugliest looking cake. Just imagine this.
Wait, a cheesecake?
That's not really cheesecake. The cheese is the Philadelphia cream cheese. So just imagine having 2 layers of yellow Duncan Hines, in a rectangular form.
Yep.
We usually use a rectangular form pan. And then in between the sheets of yellow cake, my mom would put the concoction of the mix of pineapple and cream cheese. So she'd mix that together with a little bit of sugar. So she'd put it in between the 2 layers and then on top and on the side.
Wow.
So it was a very bulky cake. It's a very bulky cake, but boy, was it delicious.
How did it taste?
Oh my gosh.
Heavenly?
Ooh, I attempted to make it a couple of years ago and it's nowhere near the way my mom made it, but boy, it conjured up all of these memories of when we were kids, and it's really cool. So I remember that was something we really look forward to. This was a special treat. My mom would never make it at any other time during the year.
Wow.
And we knew that was coming.
That was a Thanksgiving tradition.
Yeah, that carried over to Christmas.
And New Year's.
And New Year's as well.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys would have to have at Thanksgiving or have to do at Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I think that if anything, it was a time to just stuff our faces.
Yeah,
and it was also a time. I mean, most of our relatives were back in the Philippines, so it was also a time to sort of visit with friends of the family. So that's it. Really, it was just food and just watching a lot of TV.
Yep.
And it was all about the turkey and naps. Yeah. What about you? Anything fun for you guys?
So we didn't have many traditions besides for the ones you described, which was hanging out with family, friends, relaxing, not going to work or school on that Friday, right? And we would usually have a turkey. And since Asians, especially Taiwanese, are not familiar with how to cook this particular type of poultry, it was usually dry and flavorless and just not the best thing. But one thing we would always have is Chinese sides. So we'd have fried rice, stir-fried vegetables, some kind of pork. You gotta have pork, right?
Oh, so yeah.
It became like a mini Chinese New Year where it's like,
oh, that sounds
all
good.
the same food, the celebratory foods of Chinese New Year, plus a turkey.
Wow. Now that I think about it, my mom would get the stovetop stuffings, that mix, and she would do a little bit of stuffing there. And then I remember, because she worked at Vons, she would get all these like mysterious like coupons for like discounts for food.
Yeah.
She was able to get these jumbo shrimps.
Oh, wow.
Like super big jumbo. Like they look like lobster tails,
right.
but it was shrimp. was really big. I remember.
I would rather eat that. That sounds delicious.
Girl, you know what she did with that?
Garlic?
Now that I'm remembering.
Garlic butter?
No, girl, that's so fancy. No, she would get a box of Bisquick. You remember Bisquick?
Yes.
Okay, she'd get a box of Bisquick. She'd make her own tempura batter,
even
but with
better.
Bisquick. And then she'd take these extra large jumbo shrimps and she'd wrap it in bacon.
Oh my God, your mom's a genius.
And then she would dip that in the Bisquick and then she would fry that up. Girl.
That is culinary genius.
Girl, that with my yellow pineapple cake. Oh, stuffing. And it was over.
Oh, God.
So good. And of course, my mom made the gravy for the turkey from scratch. She didn't do like already prepared gravy. She actually like made it from scratch. I was very impressed.
Wow.
Now that I think about it.
Your mom is quite a chef.
She is.
Yeah.
She is. Anyway.
So that sounds like many, many delicious aspects of your traditions.
Yeah.
Now let's segue to new traditions that you'd like to incorporate. So these are traditions that Golda and I do not at all practice, but we've heard and we want to share with you, and maybe you'd like to try it, or maybe Golda would like to incorporate into her life.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Yes.
All right. So I have a couple I pulled off the web. I really like this.
Okay.
Okay. So first of all, I don't have a big family. But, for those people who have a big family, it's a struggle on Thanksgiving Day to get everywhere that you need to be.
Yeah.
Do you go to the husband's side or the wife's side or which partner's side you're going to go to? Or, there's just so many, people in the family. So I heard of a family where the mother said, this is what's going to happen for all my children. That means, with her children and their spouses. She wanted them to spend Thanksgiving setting up their own traditions. And then that Friday afterwards, they all congregate at the mom's house, and it's called the leftovers and beer and dessert party.
Oh, good.
So everyone brings the leftovers, or they kind of remake it into a new thing. They bring the alcohol, they bring the desserts, and then they have a second Thanksgiving.
Good one.
Isn't that a great one?
I love it.
Yeah.
You kind of.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, you kind of satisfy and you're able to create your own traditions and then also share it with your family, extended family.
Yeah. And it's always the argument of whose side of the family you go to on Thanksgiving. So this might be a nice way with you and your small family, your close family, you could start your own traditions. I thought that was a pretty cool idea.
I love that. Oh, I mean, yeah, that does get really complicated, right? And then sometimes, it's like, oh, let's go to your families on Thanksgiving, then we'll go to my families on Christmas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it's nice to have, people forget you have that Friday after Thanksgiving off too for most people.
Yeah, and then that's Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Just continue the pineapple cake. Just make 3 pineapple cakes.
Oh, man.
One for Thursday, one for Friday, one for Saturday.
Isn't it lovely when you have the Thanksgiving leftovers the next day?
It's even better.
Eating some people take the bones from the turkey and they make it into soup, or don't they?
I do that.
You do that?
We make porridge, yes.
What do you do? What's the recipe?
Okay, so you take the carcass. So that means you cut as much of the meat off of the bones of the turkey that you can. You put it in a pot. You add water, and you could put onions or any season or carrots, whatever seasoning. It's just for the seasoning. Then you boil that
for how long?
For a long time.
Like all day.
You can do it all day. 2 to 3 hours is sufficient. You strain it, and then you have that broth, right? Then that's when we add the rice. And then you make a porridge.
That sounds lovely.
My mom always adds freshly chopped mini celery to there to give it like a little fresh taste. Yeah, delicious.
Nice.
And then any leftover meat, you just throw back in there too.
Yeah, I've seen folks use leftover turkey to make like open-faced turkey sandwiches.
Oh yeah, delicious.
Oh. I'm like salivating over here already.
I know.
That sounds so good.
Okay, so so that's a new tradition that I just heard of, which I think is a great idea.
Okay.
How about you? Is there anything new you've heard of that you like to try or share?
Yeah, actually, I read about a tradition that Finland has.
Oh God, Finland! Why did we go to Finland for this? Okay, all right. Let's see. Finns have a Thanksgiving?
Yeah. No, well, they have I think it's part of their holiday tradition. I'm not sure which holiday.
Okay.
But were you aware, Wanru, that in Finland, the sauna is the core of the Finnish experience.
No, I did not know that.
Yes, apparently the Finns love their saunas for a variety of reasons. Probably health, makes you feel good, makes your skin glow, right? So in Finland, what they do is they all get together in the sauna, okay? And usually the sauna is suspended over some sort of a lake or lake-type property.
Okay, lake type property. Okay.
So what they do is it's the holidays. Everybody gathers in the sauna near the lake. You get all red and ruddy. And then once you can take no more, you exit from the sauna and you jump in the lake.
Which would be covered with ice, right? The cold ice covered lake.
Exactly. So it's good for your circulatory system. And then if you want extra credit, you can enhance the experience by slapping yourself with a vita.
What is a vita?
A vita is bunches of birch twigs. So I would love to incorporate this perhaps in my annual Thanksgiving tradition.
You would like to?
I would love to go to the sauna, go to Groupon, find a sauna somewhere.
You want to find a Groupon Finnish sauna experience?
It doesn't have to be Finnish. It could be a sauna. Just we'll make do. We'll make do with what we got.
I have
Golda. To find a Finnish one.
You can't do the half. You can't do it halfway or half.
And then I'll just get like one of these palm trees, the branches, instead of the birch twigs.
I think the key is the plunge. You got to do the plunge too.
Yeah, like you can even go to like 24-hour fitness, right? Go to the sauna. Then afterwards, plunge into the swimming pool. But bring your twigs.
Bring your
branch. Twigs. And don't share it. It's single use only.
By the way, where are you gonna get a branch of anything in Los Angeles? It is just the driest, most
succulents.
No, what? Like aloe vera.
Aloe vera. Ooh. Well, aloe vera is very good for your skin, but mind the thorns.
You're not gonna be able to find a branch anywhere in LA to whack yourself with. Oh my God. Golda, you're telling me.
This doesn't sound good. I'm so international.
You're willing to do this? You would do this.
Totally. Oh, how does not having a sauna or doesn't a sauna sound great?
Golda, you understand that these are extremes of discomfort. Extremely hot, extremely cold, extremely being whipped by a branch.
Wanru, haven't you heard the expression, beauty is pain? No?
All right. So if I find
beauty is pain.
If I find someplace we can do this,
let's do it.
Would you do it?
Totally.
You're promising right now on the podcast.
But I will have to pre-warn you that when I do go into a sauna, I am all there. If you know what I'm saying.
That's how the Finnish do it.
Yes. So you are all akimbo in the moonlight.
Dancing in the moonlight.
So I'm just warning you that it will be, you know what I'm saying, full on
HD, full HD, 1080p, 4K, Golda, right?
Yes, and you cannot take your phone or camera equipment with you.
All right. Well, I am in. Sign me up.
Just for the memory banks only.
Sign me up. I'm down if you're down. So okay, so this is a new tradition you want. You want the Finnish sauna and ice plunge and beating experience.
Don't they do that in like other parts of in Alaska and stuff?
A lot of Scandinavian countries do this.
And it's supposed to be really good for you.
It's supposed to be awesome actually for your body. Like,
do you know what it's supposed to do? I heard the circulatory system.
A lot of different reasons, but yes, there is a theory that, when you're hot, all the blood goes to your skin. And then when you plunge into the water, all this blood immediately goes to the core of your body. So it's kind of weird. You're giving yourself a big workout. You're like driving all this blood through the different parts of your body. But you don't have to like run or anything. You're just like using the temperature to do that for you.
And why is that good?
Good for circulation.
And why is it good to pay attention to your circulation?
Oh, because wherever the blood flows, it brings nutrients and oxygen and takes away carbon dioxide and nasty stuff, I assume.
See?
Does that sound right?
I had the Cosmopolitan magazine version in my head. Which is, you look great. You look dewy like J-Lo.
J-Lo?
Yours is more legit physiological reasons.
J-Lo looks like she's in a sauna all the time.
She's so dewy, isn't she?
Just like walking around. Like,
do you know what her secret is?
What's that?
Her secret is La Mer. La Mer moisturizer.
I'm gonna fact check this.
She said it was La Mer. Maybe she's trying to get some. Anyway,
Maybe it's the sauna.
I don't hate the player. I hate the game.
Oh, but I love J-Lo. Whatever. I'll do La Mer and then I'll go in the sauna. Maybe.
She's so like. Have you seen her in person?
No, I haven't. Have you?
I saw her in concert with my mom last year. She's amazing. She's 50 years old.
Amazing.
And I saw her in that movie Hustler.
Did you see Hustlers?
I did, with Constance Wu.
Did you see her body in Hustlers?
And Cardi B. Yeah, like she was like, there was some, let's just kind of veer off.
We're going to do a little
smidge.
segue. I mean, I'm sorry.
We'll come back down this road.
Detour.
Yeah, a little detour, a little rest stop here. But yeah, I did see Hustler with Jennifer Lopez, and her body, when she was going up and down that pole, like the stripper pole, because, newsflash, it's about strippers.
It's about strippers.
Anyway, so she's like, spreading her legs, doing all these like scissor kicks.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to kind of slightly cover my face, thinking that some things would be exposed that she might not want anybody to see. But man, everything looked really good.
Everything looked better than good. It looked freaking fantastic.
Like she was spreading her legs, doing these like pole things.
Yeah.
And there was not any fat. Because you know how sometimes in your thighs there are areas that are like pockets?
Hell yeah.
Where there's like fat pockets?
Absolutely.
She was like exposing every centimeter of her thighs.
No fat pockets.
She had no fat pockets. You know that? And she, in her face, she had no qualms about, like, so interesting.
Amazing.
I want to be like that when I do my Finnish sauna plunge.
You want to be like what?
Not care about my fat pockets. Fat pockets.
If you want my fat, then you gotta see my pockets.
Fat pockets. It's a little combo. Anyway.
Okay, so that's one new tradition you want to try, and then now we've veered off into the
sauna plunge.
Sauna plunge. Oh, okay, all right. Well, I'm gonna keep my next tradition more on the Thanksgiving theme.
Okay,
which is I really liked a tradition that Golda actually used to do, which was the Thanksgiving orphan.
Yay!
Or Thanksgiving orphans.
Yeah.
Get together.
Yeah. So the premise of that was
that sounded really sad. I said Thanksgiving orphan as if there's just like one of them, like Oliver Twist or something.
Stuffing, please. More stuffing.
Can I have a bit more of your homemade gravy?
More pineapple cheese, please.
Just a tad bit more of your bacon wrapped jumbo shrimp and biscuit, please.
Is the biscuit gluten-free, please?
No, Orphans Thanksgiving, yeah.
Which has, I started that like in 2003, 2004. And it was interesting because subsequent to that time, I then started, maybe it's always been that way, but I started seeing more and more of that in social media. Like people were starting to do it. So basically what it was, we found ourselves, single and we're young and, we were all in the theater and acting community. Many of us transplants to LA, some of us, LA natives, but, not having anyone to share Thanksgiving with. So I didn't want to spend another Thanksgiving by myself. So I invited all of my friends who were orphans who either couldn't afford a plane trip back home or didn't want to go home. And just, it was a potluck and I was just going to make the turkey, but everybody else bring everything else. And that was it. And it was a big hit and it became a karaoke type of Thanksgiving celebration.
And like, even for someone like me, which is like, my family doesn't have a lot of traditions surrounding Thanksgiving, I would eat with my family and then I'd come over and see you.
Yeah.
So I got like a double Thanksgiving. It was super fun.
Yeah, we played poker. We had a poker tournament and we had karaoke for those who didn't play poker and vice versa. That was really lovely. And I think that it was an opportunity for folks also to share recipes and things that they had concocted for the party, which was really nice.
Mm-hmm. You made a superb red velvet cake.
I did.
Golda's like, yes, I did.
I did. And it was a recipe that I received from a former coworker who shared with me her great grandmother's red velvet recipe from Georgia. This is a deep South, red velvet cake. And I will say that this cake, I have not made it in a while, but this cake, I mean, I have tasted by that point all of the famous red velvet cakes. At least in the United States, and mine was the best.
Hers was really good.
Bam! I dropped the gauntlet. That's not false modesty. That's just a fact.
I back her up.
It was so good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I haven't made that in a while.
Yeah, so that could be a once a year thing that Golda does.
Resurrect that.
Resurrect.
Yeah.
I vote. I vote to resurrect the red velvet on Thanksgiving. I don't know why.
So good.
But it just seems like a good occasion.
Yeah, really good. And I think that if anything, when you take away all of the turkey and all of the activity, I think what you're left with was the emotion and the feeling of being connected with people and, hopefully making the holidays more enjoyable for you if you don't have anyone to share it with.
Yeah, that's why I love that tradition. I wanted to share with you guys.
Yeah.
How about you? Do you have any other traditions that are kind of on the newer end, something you like to try or something you heard of that sounds cool?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that one of the other traditions that I really love is it's kind of simple.
Tell me.
I don't know if I like the idea of passing down family recipes.
Tell me about that.
It's the way that I think about this is when I think about our elders or aunts, uncles that, have you ever had like an aunt or uncle or mom, dad that they're famous for a particular dish?
My aunt is famous for her stewed bamboo shoots.
Ooh, stewed bamboo shoots.
I throw it out there because my family's from Taiwan, so their dishes are kind of different. But yeah, I love her stewed bamboo shoots.
Yeah, like so for my mom, it's her pineapple yellow cake, Duncan Hines cake.
Mm-hmm.
What I would love to do is bring together friends and family to come to the table with the dish that has made an impact for them and to share the recipe.
Let's do that.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Let's do that. Yeah.
Because I feel like as much as life is very fragile, I think that we live on in each other, whether it's in culinary dishes or, sharing of information, sharing of spirit. And I feel like your spirit can be in dishes. And I what better way to share that but during the holidays?
Oh, gosh. I
Isn't
love
nice?
that.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And it would be really fun to hear people's stories as to why that dish is famous. Like, why is this bamboo shoot famous, right? Or whatever.
Yeah. The way I envision it is pick a relative or friend or somebody that you've known that has shared a dish with you and come to the table already with that dish prepared. And then tell everyone a little bit about that person and what made them special. And your first experience tasting that dish, and then your attempt to recreate that dish, and then we all will take a taste of it and share in the experience together. Doesn't that sound nice?
Sounds amazing. Yeah, and I have
in theory.
All right,
sounds like a logistical nightmare if you've got like 50 friends. Bring your big pants.
It's a potluck with a little bit of a different twist, right?
Yes.
That's not so hard. I think that's doable.
Isn't that nice? I like it.
Oh, wow. I've loved all these traditions. What you've practiced and, these new ones you want to implement. Now, let's go into some traditions maybe you would like to leave behind.
Yes. I have one. Can I say?
Go.
Okay. So also every year, a tradition that we have had in our family is right before the new year, there's a superstition that whatever you don't want to bring with you into the new year, you need to dispose of, or you need to clean your house, make sure you're creating room for good energy, right? So what we try to do in our family was to clean the house, spick and span, dust everything, throw everything out that you need to, get rid of old food, trash, everything the day before the new year so that you start the slate clean.
What a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a lot of pressure.
And I'm on vacation. What am I doing cleaning? That's not vacation. I want to get rid of that. What's with the superstition already?
So you're not a fan of this tradition,
I
and
don't
you
like
like to
it.
kick it to the curb.
I would like to be a pigsty year round. And clean when I dang well feel like it.
Exactly.
And not on December 31st.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do it on April 12th. How's that? I'm going to do it on April 12th. There's no season associated with that date.
Tax day, April 14.
Yeah. Well, kind of off. But still, I want to do it when I want to do it. You don't have to tell me. That scare me into it.
I can totally see why you don't like this tradition.
It's like scared clean.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Scared clean.
Scared clean.
Scared clean.
You must clean or else this is going to happen to you.
What a
horrible way to live.
Yeah.
Isn't
around Chinese New Year, they do the same thing where you have to like clean your house and do all this stuff beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing you're supposed to do is to get your hair cut before
Why?
Chinese. Because if it's after Chinese New Year, and I don't know what the span is, like a month after Chinese New Year, you're going to be cutting off your good luck if you cut off your hair. So I don't know this. I don't follow this tradition. All I know is I'm trying to book a haircut in January, and it's impossible because everyone's getting their hair cut.
Interesting. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, so I have to have, shaggy grown out hair for 2 months, just waiting for this time to pass.
But aren't you, by cutting your hair, aren't you getting rid of the good luck that you've had that you were carrying up to that point?
Hey, I don't make these rules. I'm just describing to you. Like, why December 31st? Like, I don't know. That's why these are too arbitrary. They're not meaningful. Right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Well, another tradition that ends up being cumbersome, but that I've continued to do to date is during New Year's Eve, like at the stroke of midnight, there is a sequence of events that need to happen ushering in the new year.
Oh my gosh. Okay, what is it?
And that is, number 1, wear polka dots.
Wear polka dots? Where is this from?
Number 2, you have to shake a handful of coins.
Of what?
For the entire minute.
What?
Leading up to and after the stroke of midnight.
What?
Number 3, you have to eat a noodle dish or pasta dish, something with long strands.
Okay.
Which references long life.
Okay.
Yeah. What else? That's pretty much it. And then eating round fruit, like grapes. So you're like it's a logistical nightmare.
Shaking cans and eating
coins.
Grapes.
The coins.
Oh yeah, coin. God, I'm gonna shake cans and horrible things will fall upon me in the new year. I thought you were supposed to shake cans. I got a bunch of aluminum cans and I strung them together. What's wrong? Why am I having bad luck?
And Golda said to eat string. Is that right?
Yeah, she said to eat
pasta or noodles.
I'm eating like a banana. Did she say to eat oblong-shaped fruit? She could have sworn it was oblong-shaped fruit.
Is a mango round? It's kind of oval.
Where did you get these traditions from?
My mom.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
I listened to her.
Is it?
I listened to her. I
have to snap Golda out of her.
I'm so brainwashed.
So let me ask you: are these like very typical Filipino traditions?
I think a little bit of it is, and I think some of it might also be from our Chinese heritage as well. We've got some Chinese heritage.
I'm
in the Filipino bloodline there.
I have not heard of any of these.
Are you sure about
among
that?
the Chinese?
Are you sure?
Okay, only the long life noodle.
What about the coins?
No.
Polka dots?
No.
Really?
It would be red. It would be polka dots.
Oh, no, it's polka dots. Ooh, red polka dots. Ooh, you just gave me an idea. Let's do red polka dots.
Oh, God. Wait, so let me ask you. You said it's a lot. Do you want to keep this tradition or you want to get rid of it?
I think it's cumbersome. I don't want to get rid of it, though.
Aww.
Because I've been doing it every year.
Awesome.
But it's a lot of work.
Okay, so that one falls in the category of it's a lot of work, but you're still keeping it.
TBD. Yeah.
Okay.
What about you? Any others?
So the traditions I don't participate in are the ones I'd kick to the curb.
Okay.
But I know that other people enjoy them.
Like what?
Black Friday.
Oh. Why don't you like Black Friday?
I don't think
it's all kinds of sales.
You're not getting a deal.
Yeah, you are.
Nah, I don't think so.
Why do you say that?
I don't think so.
This is scandalous.
I think if you just wait at other times of the year, you can get the same thing.
What? Like what?
Absolutely.
What about all these big TVs, like 80-inch screen TVs that you can get for like $50?
I've heard they mark it up and then they like 50% off because they mark it off like twice as much as it's worth. I haven't heard of any.
Okay.
I heard and also it's like, do you really need it? Like, you know what I really need?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need
Do
it.
I really need this 16 gigabyte hard drive backup?
Well, let's rewind a couple of episodes ago where we determined that Wanru is a minimalist.
Yes, I'm a minimalist.
And I am the opposite.
Right. So for example, let's say where do you get all your candles, Golda?
TJ Maxx.
TJ Maxx.
Oh, and Bath and Body Works.
Yeah, so if Bath and Body Works had a buy one get one free sale for Black Friday, would you get a bunch of candles?
Yeah, and then I combine it with other coupons that I have because I have their app, which I only pay $2.99 for.
And you can get that the rest of the year because
you can't.
They have to buy one get one off like every.
No, you can't. It's only that one time.
No, I don't.
That one time. That one time. I am easily susceptible.
She's susceptible to hypnotism.
That's why I believe magic.
All right, so for me, I would like to ditch Black Friday.
Okay.
I know it's the core of a lot of Thanksgiving traditions. I like to ditch football.
Yeah, me too. I'm not really into it.
Not to football, right?
No.
I think, why don't we watch something that we could all enjoy together?
Like a documentary.
Like what?
Like so that you can learn something.
Right, no, whatever it is. Like a fun movie that everyone can enjoy.
Like what?
Like something classic. Like I just watched Death Becomes Her. It's like a movie from the, 90s?
90s. Who is in that?
Bruce Willis, Meryl Streep,
yes,
Goldie Hawn.
Love it.
And it was a riot. It's super fun.
And Isabella Rossellini, no?
Isabella Rossellini in a cameo role. Yeah.
Nice.
That was a fun movie that the whole family could watch. So it's not that I want to kick away football. Kick away.
Oh.
I just want to replace.
Sports analogy.
That's the most
advanced
sports I could pull up. Literally. Kick away. Footballers kicking, right? Anyways.
That's what they say, those sports commentators. And look at that guy. Just kick it away. Kick it away. Run. Run, linebacker, run. Is that somebody? The linebacker? Do they run? Or do they block?
You're asking the wrong person.
I was a bad dramatization of a sports anchor guy person. Yeah.
Right. No, you know
that
what?
would be hilarious. I think we should probably we should do like a snippet of like the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, let's
and
do
then
that.
you and I do the voiceover.
Do the commentary?
Of what
Absolutely.
what it would be.
Oh my God, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right.
Okay.
We will.
And
have
J-Lo is going to be performing at the next Super Bowl, by the way.
Oh my God, exciting.
And Shakira. You like my Shakira impression?
It was very perfect.
Thanks.
Can I ask you to do a little more nasal on the Shakira just to see what my... Oh, yeah. Oh, that's it. We're heading Shakira territory.
That's a little bit of Shakira and a little bit of Ricky Ricardo Bambaloo. Random reference. Anyway,
so let's
get back on the road.
So we're done with our detours. I think that wraps
lots of detours today.
That wraps up our non-traditional, traditional wrap up.
Yeah, and we just want to say that if you've got traditions that you'd like to share or ideas, give us a line, throw us an email, comment on Facebook, share with us on our YouTube page. What are your traditions that you've set up for yourself, your family, your friends, coworkers?
Yeah, we'd love to hear it.
Like the end of Thanksgiving when you gather all your Tupperware and you pile on all the leftovers and give it away to your guests. We too have come to the end of our little soiree. So,
please take food home. That's a plea of every host, right? Please take food home, please.
I have these cups with foil and rubber bands. You know what that's for? It's usually like the liquidy thing.
Yeah.
You put
all the paper plates come out, double paper plate with the aluminum foil around it. That's a classic takeaway.
You know what? Real quick, like pro tip is some people, they ask their guests to bring their own Tupperware with them, thereby saving plastic and other things. So I thought just a last minute tip. But anyway, I have a double
pro tip.
Yeah, let's hear it.
You know, like whenever you get like a beef bowl or all those things.
Like from Yoshinoya, Glatanoya?
Yeah, something a little more sturdier, like Waba Grill.
Oh, wow. Fancy.
Yeah, no, not the disposable styrofoam stuff from Yoshinoya. But you can use that.
I like Yoshinoya. Dream sponsor.
Oh, yes. I love Yoshinoya.
Me too.
We can go on about that.
Red ginger in plastic packets.
Oh, my God. The rice is just done perfectly every time. Anyways, the point is, you know, like takeout containers, maybe Thai food or whatever. If it's plastic, you can wash it and collect it. I'm not a minimalist when it comes to that. I'll collect all that plastic and then I will bring it.
Smart.
Clean Tupperware to these types of parties and distribute and disseminate.
Very, very good. I will also take my leftover crock butter bins.
Yeah. No shame. No shame in your game.
In that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So whatever you can do, bring it with you so you don't have to, waste any. We're so sustainable. We're so responsible. We're millennials.
Essentially.
So, Wanru, what are you taking away from today's episode?
Well, I think what I will take away, and I hope to try in real life, is that double yellow cake, cream cheese, pineapple cake.
Oh, you will not regret it. It's so good. I could taste it as I'm thinking about it.
I really, really want to try it because it just sounds really interesting. And you know what? It's like all three things that really don't go bad in your pantry. So you could whip that out anytime. Cream cheese lasts for months. Pineapple forever. Box cake. Is there even an expiration date?
No, I think I still have the Duncan Hines yellow cake mix.
All right.
From like 1984.
Oh, well, that's the one I want to eat. Because there's probably chemicals in there that have since been banned, but are flavor enhancers.
It adds to it for sure.
But besides for my curiosity on how it tastes, hint, hint, I also love the fact that it's a taste that's going to remind Golda of her mom.
Yeah.
Right?
So good.
And of that time. So I was thinking that as we were preparing for this, I was like, traditions are just like poo-poo, like whatever. Just do it if you feel like it and don't do it if you don't feel like it. But that's the way I talk in my mind. But actually, when she described it as linking the past, present, and future, I was like, oh my God, it's actually meaningful. Jeez, it's not just box cake. It has like a really touching aspect to it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it really does. And every time I do have that pineapple cheesecake, which I don't recently. But
like how many years has it been?
It's been maybe 3-4 years since I made it.
It's time to resurrect it.
Yeah, I might be on a cheat day. That's gonna, and we'll post a picture of it. It is the ugliest looking cake. So don't be swayed, because I know that we're living in an age of Instagram and, really pretty, like foodie type excursions. This is not one of those things. This is very, like, literally the entire dish will set you back $3. Because, during the holidays, those box cakes, they're on sale for like 50 cents.
2 for 1.
Yeah. And then like the pineapple thing, you can get like double coupon it. And only spend 50 cents for a can of pineapple. And then the cream cheese, you can get that on sale all the time during the holidays.
4 for $5.
Yeah. So, I mean, it will not set you back much. So it's a very affordable dish and will conjure up many memories for years to come. That's lovely. I'm glad that you picked that.
Yeah. How about you? What will you take away?
I will take away the fact that Wanru... in her many excursions throughout the year, always chooses a really memorable places to go, and how the Mayans were the original paper source company, and I think they just became more efficient. Wouldn't it be something? I don't know this for a fact, but we should find out who the owners of like Hallmark and Paper Source are. Like people who make calendars.
Why? Do you think it's like an ancient Mayan?
Hey, Hollywood. There's my pitch. For the next Hollywood blockbuster, starring Emily Blunt.
I can imagine this Mayan man, right, with his loincloth and his gold earrings and his nose ring, and he's like just putting in a tarp all these like pallets, right, like pallets and pieces of stone with like engravings on them, and he's like putting it in a tarp, and he's like running across the border up to America, and then he changes into a suit. All of a sudden, he opens a store on Main Street. Guess what? Selling what?
Calendars. Yay. Yeah, so I will I think that's definitely a lesson in ingenuity and being aware of your surroundings and, really making something artful, artistic. What is my adjective there?
Yeah.
But, when you think about it, I mean, they could have just been like, I guess it's morning, or
yes.
I guess it's winter, but they went all out.
The precision, the accuracy, the thought. They probably searched that site for years. And then they're like, we found it. These 3 cenotes line up directly with Orion's belt. And if we built the pyramid, this will point directly north. And this will point to this. And this will, the thought.
Yeah. And to think too, that's a lot of time out of your life that you have to think about this. And the lifespan at that time was what? You're like 12 years old and you die?
Yeah.
It's like not a lot of life expectancy there.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what I will take away is just putting more thought into just everyday things. And I think that also brings us to the traditions where you might be going through your holidays sort of on autopilot, but this is an opportunity for you to create possibly new traditions for yourself and your family and your friends that will live on for years in folks' memory banks. And that's a good legacy to have.
So if you enjoyed any of the stories you heard today, and if you enjoyed Golda's reenactment of her back going out, the sounds, please feel free to share this episode with anybody you know, your coworkers, your friends, your family members, or maybe even at Thanksgiving.
Or it's a really great flirtation device as well.
It is?
Do you know that? Yeah. Can you imagine like being at a party or what have you, and you catch the eye of a good-looking person and you're struggling to find out how to start that conversation? Why not go up to them and say, would you like to take a look at my podcast list?
Have you heard of the Ganru show? They're available on every podcast provider out there, right, Golda?
They are.
Like what?
Like Spotify,
Apple Podcasts,
Google Play.
Google Play?
Isn't that something? Google Play? Isn't that something? Something like that. Okay. Google Podcast.
Exactly. Every podcast provider out there.
And guess what?
What else?
If you want to see them live and in person and see their circulatory system.
Oh, I can see them in person with my 2 bare eyeballs.
All you got to do is go on YouTube and look for that little magnifying glass. That's the search function. And then you put the Ganru show on there.
And how do you spell that?
It's GANRU show.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
I'm Golda.
And I'm Wanru.
Have a happy Thanksgiving holiday season. We'll see you again, but think of these traditions. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.